I've been actually doing like sort of what we like doing some minimal coaching with my business partner.
Mm. Like you've been coaching. You've been delivering coaching almost
Yeah,
in some
essentially,
capacity.
like we would meet and we would make food one night because I don't know, then we have healthy food we can eat every day.
Mm.
And it's obviously easier to eat it when you have it sitting there. So we were doing that together, and then I was kind of laying different things out for him because he's got a lot on the go,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times I'm like I we sat down one day, laid out like all the things that he has on the go, like building cars or trucks or whatever else, through life. And once we put all the stuff on the board, and I was like, holy shit, like. I was like, dude, I don't think me and you could do that if we were both working on it all full time. Like, that's how
Mm.
much work and tasks that there were. So then we kind of reorganized them. He was like, well, shit, I've never really looked at it like that.
Mm. You provided a new perspective for
Yeah.
him.
And then I'm like, okay, well, why don't we reorganize this stuff into like what's most important to you? Because it's all like just all over. And then like we kind of reorganized
Mm.
it. And then we left. And I mean, yeah, I gained a bit of new perspective. Then the week later, I did a new diagram that I don't know. I just thought of it because that's how I think of like my life. But I drew a little circle, and that was essentially like our relationship and the business. And then I wrote like all the stuff that I do outside of that around it, and how like all of it helps that.
Mm.
Like whether I don't know, my exercise, food habits, reading, people I talk to, meet
Mm.
with, like what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, it's not directly for that, but it all helps everything. It just
It's
all
all
works
connected.
together
Yeah.
to like, get you whatever the hell you want to do. So I laid that out because I was like, man, like in my opinion, when, we sit down, have these meetings, say we want to do this stuff, when we leave, uh, everything that you do outside of here doesn't really impact what you say you want to do within this. And when we did that, he was like, fuck man, I'm just really overwhelmed again. Like I've never really thought of my life like that.
Mm.
And for me, I just again think like, well, everybody knows that. Like just do shit that's gonna help everything else you do. Um, so I was like, okay, what the hell? Like this is kind of weird.
Mm.
Not weird, but I was like, okay. Um, and then because we had been kind of working like with the habits, kind of like routine stuff a little bit.
And just to pause you there for a second, this is kind of weird. Like, I just want to anchor that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Your insight in that moment, like I'm hearing, wait, like, whoa, I kind of just thought this was obvious, and
Yeah.
everybody knew this. But now that I'm actually teaching someone and articulating what I do maybe a little bit more naturally, I'm realizing this is not
Yeah.
that obvious for a lot of people.
Well,
and it wasn't obvious for you at a certain point in the past.
No, like I've been in the exact same spot. And I just kind of assume that people know, they just don't want to do it.
Mm.
Right. So I'm like, oh, like, okay, anybody knows what they have to do or how to build their life. They just don't feel like putting the work in. But the reality is like they actually just don't know, or, depending.
Yeah, there's some block that it could be a bit of both. They don't know, or they might have some ideas, but there's blocks and beliefs. And we'll talk more about that in a bit, I'm sure. But
so then, so we've been doing a bit of that. And then I joined a new like business kind of like mastermindy group thing online that I've wanted to do for a while. And they started this like double your income training that was like free, but it's not really one of those shitty online double your income courses. It's not really about that. It was a lot about like building essentially what I've been talking about with my partner, like building your life and discipline and stuff in a way that you're working efficiently, being able to do these things.
Foundation for running a successful business or whatever you want to go after.
Exactly. So the first training, and I had already thought about like through the list I've started and stuff, maybe doing some sort of like habits or routine thing, or like really getting into like how I build my life. And so we did the training, and the whole time I was like, this is literally what I do.
So you're, just to clarify, you're a customer of this other email thing, kind of like yours almost, but you're receiving teachings from someone else.
Yeah.
And you're going,
I was like, this is exactly what I thought about actually teaching.
I know this stuff. I'm living this stuff is what you're saying to yourself.
Yeah. Cause there were so many people like on the Zoom meeting that were just commenting in the chat thing, like, oh, like I want to start eating better, but it's just like I have all this other shit on the go. I don't think it's really the right time yet, and all this shit. And I'm like, the fuck are these people saying? I'm like, what do you mean it's not the right time? And then the guy running it is pretty funny too. Like I think we have pretty similar like the way we would talk and stuff like that. And he's like, man, like I just got to be straight up. Like there was like no better fucking time to start eating healthy. That is like the one thing you should do right now. That will be the best thing you'll probably do. Um, and the guy was just like, oh fuck, like yeah, like I know, but like but it was wild to see all the, because I don't know, I think there's probably about 50 of us or maybe 40 in there. I don't know, maybe even less, but either way, yeah, everyone was like commenting like, oh, like I really want to try and do this habit more or build this habit. And I was like, man, I literally have all of these. And I didn't like, I was not like, oh yeah, fuck these idiots kind of
No, no,
thing. But I
no.
was just like, wow, this is like crazy. Because like I literally could be teaching that.
Right, right.
So that's where I'm
So
kind
it's like